Once upon a time, in a kingdom wrapped in silver-tipped mountains and forests that whispered ancient secrets, a baby girl was born under the first snowfall of winter. Her mother, the gentle Queen Ilara, gazed at her child, skin as pale as snow, lips as red as the winter berries, and hair as black as ebony wood.
She shall be called Snow White.
But joy in the palace was short-lived. Queen Ilara soon fell ill and passed, leaving the king heartbroken and the kingdom quiet with grief. Years later, seeking a new queen, the king married a woman of stunning beauty, Queen Morana, a woman who hid a storm behind her perfect smile. She was elegant, commanding, and fiercely jealous of anyone who rivaled her beauty. And in her chambers stood her greatest treasure, a tall, ornate mirror trimmed with gold leaves and mysterious runes. Every morning, she would ask,
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
For years, the mirror answered without hesitation,
My queen, you are the fairest of them all.
But Snow White grew, gentle, kind, curious, and radiant, loved by everyone. She became the shining heart of the kingdom. And one fateful morning, the mirror's answer changed.
But Snow White is fairer still than you.
The words pierced Queen Morana's pride like a dagger. In a fury fueled by jealousy and fear, she commanded a huntsman.
Take Snow White deep into the forest. Bring me proof that she will never return.
But when the huntsman led Snow White into the shadowy woods, he found himself unable to harm her. Her innocence disarmed him. Her kindness softened even his hardened heart.
They want your life. Run. Do not ever return to the castle.
Lost and alone, Snow White ran until her legs could no longer carry her. Birds circled above her, sensing her fear, guiding her deeper into the forest. Until finally she reached a tiny cottage, warm and glowing between moss-covered stones. Inside were 7 tiny chairs, 7 little plates, and 7 small beds. Exhausted, Snow White collapsed into sleep. That evening, 7 dwarfs, miners of shimmering gemstones, returned home. They froze at the sight of the girl in their beds.
She's beautiful.
And she's breathing.
When Snow White awoke, she told them her story, tears trembling in her lashes. Bramble stepped forward.
Then you'll stay with us. No queen, no shadow can harm you here.
And so she did. Days turned to weeks. Snow White filled their cottage with laughter, music, and warmth. In return, the dwarves protected her like treasured family. But deep in her castle, Queen Morana asked her mirror again, and the mirror replied,
Snow White lives in the forest, with 7 dwarfs, small and stout. She, not you, is the fairest. Of that there is no doubt.
Rage twisted the queen's face. She vowed to end her rival herself. Disguised as an old peddler woman, she approached the cottage when the dwarves were away.
Lovely girl, try this perfect red apple. One bite brings happiness.
The apple glowed like a ruby. Snow White, kind, trusting, never suspecting, accepted it. With a single bite, the world spun. The apple slipped from her fingers. She fell, silent and still. Queen Morana cackled with triumph, returning to her castle as Snow White lay motionless. When the dwarfs came home, they found her lifeless on the wooden floor, their hearts shattered. Yet she looked too peaceful, too alive to bury. So they laid her in a crystal coffin in a meadow of wildflowers, guarded day and night. One spring morning, a prince riding through the forest came upon the dwarfs keeping vigil. He saw Snow White's face through the crystal and felt something pull on his soul, a connection deeper than time itself.
May I give her a parting kiss?
The dwarfs hesitated, then nodded. The prince leaned down and kissed Snow White's forehead, gentle, respectful, full of sorrow. And in that instant, the curse broke. Her eyes fluttered open, her breath returned, color bloomed in her cheeks like sunrise over snow. The dwarfs burst into tears. The prince stepped back in awe.
What happened?
When the truth reached the kingdom, the people rebelled against Queen Morana's cruelty. She fled the palace, her power shattered. Snow White returned home, welcomed by cheering crowds, and the dwarves proudly marched beside her. The prince offered his hand, not demanding her love, but offering companionship, respect, and a future built together. Snow White smiled.
Yes, together.
Their wedding was held in a blooming garden beneath lanterns shaped like floating stars. The dwarves danced on tables, the birds sang overhead, and the people celebrated long into the night. And Snow White, now Queen Snow White, ruled with kindness, wisdom, and joy. The kingdom flourished. The dwarves visited often and had rooms in the castle made especially for them. And Snow White, at long last, lived happily ever after, loved, cherished, and finally safe.